Our daily quests this week are going to be helping us prepare for the quiz on Friday, October 26th. So make sure you are studying, using these to study, and making sure your notes are all ready to go before Friday. So let's get to it. Once again, we're writing out these numbers as we would say them out loud or saying them correctly. So for our first problem, we have a mixed number. So this would be 5 wholes and 1/10, because we are at the first digit behind the decimal point. So as a mixed number, this would be 5 wholes and 1/10. Our next problem has a mixed number again. So this will be 6 wholes, and this time it'll be 32. But it is the second digit behind the decimal point, so it is the hundredths place. Hundredths. And finally, for the last one, we have 3 numbers in front of the decimal, so that would be 102. And, because that's where the decimal is, this will be 6/10. And I realized I forgot to write this one as a mixed number. So this would be 6 and 32 hundredths. The bottom one will be 102 and 6/10. Hopefully we're getting a little bit more used to this process as we go. So for our story problems today, we have Hayden is selling lemonade in his front yard. His parents gave him a total of $200, total is very important here, to spend to get the business up and running. At the end of the day, he had to spend, that should be spend, not spent, $123.75. How much money does he have left over? So we have a lot of keywords here. So the first keyword I saw was total, right up here. Total has to be the biggest number. So in this case, total has to be the largest thing we start with. So we have to get smaller, which tells us subtraction. Then we have the word spent or spend. That would be also subtraction. And then the word leftover, the phrase leftover, also tells us subtraction. So we had 3 different things telling us we are doing a subtraction problem here. So we have to line up our decimal place because our place values have to be lined up. That means we have to add a couple zeros after, so that would be 0 hundredths. And now we're going to subtract, which means we have a ton of borrowing to do in this problem. So this will be 9 with 1 there, so 9, 1 there, 9, and finally 10. So 5, 2, our decimal place drops down, 6, 7, and then 0. So that means Hayden has $76.25 left over. There we go. Next problem. Samantha is starting a babysitting service, but she needs to set a fair price. Every hour, she will get paid $6.50. If she worked for 5 hours, how much would she make? And when I said it, I almost said how much would she make total? Because in many ways, that's actually the key word here. We also have every hour is an important keyword that tells us this is a multiplication problem. So there's a couple tricks to this one. So we have $6.50, and then she's working for 5 hours, multiplying through. Now, when you are doing division, or multiplication, sorry, we need to remove the decimal and then count the digits behind the decimal, which would be 2. And then we would multiply. This would be 0, 25, and then 32. We have to have 2 digits behind the decimal in our answer. So this will be our answer down at the bottom. But there is a nice trick. If your multiplication problem ends in a 0 when you're working with decimals, we could actually write the problem like this with 1 digit behind the decimal point and we would get the same answer. The problem is, since we're working with money, we want 2 digits behind the decimal point anyway. So that means Sam will make 32, whoops, I clicked the button there, $32.50 total. Done. 2 more. A caterpillar is growing a little bit each day. On Monday, it was 23 5/10 centimeters. On Tuesday, it grew 3 8/10 centimeters. That's a nice keyword right there. And on Wednesday, it grew 5 1/10 centimeters. So how long is it now? So it sounds like we're going to have to be adding the 3 numbers together. Now, I could add 2 at a time and then add the third, but it is actually possible with the addition algorithm to add all 3 numbers at the same time, as long as all of them have the decimal point that matches in the same spot. So there we go. So as long as we line up that decimal point in each to keep the place values lined up, we can add all of the numbers together. 5 plus 8 is 13, plus an extra 1 is 14. I bring my decimal point down. So I have 4 plus 3 is 7, plus 5 is 12, and 2 plus 1 is 3. So the caterpillar is 32 4/10 centimeters now. 1 left. So our last problem says a construction company made a total of $480.50 today. So this is very similar to one that we did on the example. There were 5 people working. If everyone made the same amount, how much would everyone have made? So because the total is $480.50 and we are dividing it among 5 people, that means we have to be doing a division problem with a decimal place. Now when we are dividing, there's really one important question when we're dividing with decimals, and that is, does the number that we are dividing by, so in this case 5, have any digits behind the decimal place? The answer to that question for this problem is no. Therefore, we can divide it just like we would be if there were no decimals involved. We just move our decimal place directly up. So when we divide here, there can be 9 groups of 5 that fit into 48 without going over, which would be 45. I subtract and bring my next digit down. So I now can fit 6 groups into 30. From here, I bring the 5/10 down, where I can fit 1 group of 5. That's exactly 5. I bring my last digit down, which 0 groups can fit. So that means that each person will make $96.10. As always, if you have any questions, please let me know.